Alright, so today I'm going to teach you how to access the practice site for your students. So to start this off, we're going to go to our internet browser, which I'm using Safari, and then you're going to go to tn.nextera.questarai.com, and this will take you to the Tennessee Comprehensive Assessment Program site, which looks similar to this. You should have received an email from this platform a few weeks ago to access your username and password. Your username is just going to be your Knox County email address, and then your password. It gave you a temporary password. If you lost that email, you can just click forgot password and it will send you a new password to access that. And they'll send you a new one through your email address. If you need any help with that, reach out to me and I'll help you get a new password and username. So once we log in with our Knox County email address and our password, our screen's going to look something similar to this. So mine looks a little different than yours because I've got a top-down view where you guys will just have a view of your classes. So yours won't necessarily have this chart over here that says 811 students need tested. So to access your practice site, you're going to go up to the top. Notice that this says 2017-2018 EOC practice test. So this website has already taken all the information for the entire academic year. So all of your courses for fall and spring will be on here, so don't freak out about that. So go over here and press change and select your subject. You'll likely only have the subject that you teach on here. Again, I've got everyone's as I've got a top-down view. So let's start with just say algebra. If we selected algebra over the course that you teach and press change, you're going to go to test administration and click test administration again. So here would be, if you taught algebra, it would be the algebra classes that you teach. Again, not everyone's is going to show on your screen like it does on mine. So let's say if I were Kim Callahan, I would have section 2, 3, and 7 that would show up on my screen. Make sure you pick the ones that are for the fall, so those rosters you can pull. So when let's say I want to test my algebra 2 or algebra 1 section 2 students. What I would do is press view, and here is going to display all the students that were in my section 2 course. So last name, first names, user IDs, and passwords. Now this would be a little tedious to hand out all the usernames and passwords to the students. So one way to access this is to click login tickets here at the top. The nice thing about this is that you can cut them up. You don't have to write it all down. You can cut it up. It's going to save your downloads and then open up. You can cut these into squares and hand them out to the students. So it tells them their US ID and their password to log on. Last week I sent you guys an email about how to access the practice platform. Theirs is going to be the exact same. So just like we made up those US IDs that were 99999 and then the last number, here's their US ID and their password. One thing that I will request of you guys is that if you cut these up and hand them out, I want to get our students in the habit of turning these back in at the end of every test, because this is a security issue once we get into the EOC. So please, please, please don't let the students take these out of the room or keep these in their binders. When you pass them out to use for the practice test, have them turn them back in. So just like we're trying to get them in the habit and used to logging in on the site, we also want them to get used to turning these slips back in after they've completed tests, because that is what we will do during the testing season of this fall. So again, please, if you cut these up and hand them out, please collect them at the end of your practice time. So you got that view. You can also do login tickets. These two options are just different sizes of how big the login tickets are. But then also for a teacher, I like this. The student roster is going to give you all of their usernames and passwords in one, so that if you could put it on a clipboard and walk around and help them log in. So that's how they're going to log in. So they're going to use that USID and password. But then remember how we had to have an access code to get into the subparts? Here are these access codes for this section. If Kim was going to test her third section of Algebra 1, the access codes are going to look different. So make sure you go back up here back to test administration list, and she goes to her third section and presses view so she can get that new roster and those new access codes. So the cool thing about this is that you can see when they have started subpart 1 2 and 3, you can know which kids maybe were absent when you did the practice test and who should try and practice online. This is going to be a big thing for math students, as graphing looks completely different on the computer than it does on paper and pencil. Unfortunately, there is only one test practice, so they can only go through it once, and over here after they've completed it, there'll be like a little reset button, and you could reset the test if you wanted them to take it again to get used to using the graphs or charts or diagrams. I think that's it. If you guys have any questions, I'll be in the office the rest of the week. We're going to use this as kind of our official training, and then if we need to meet face-to-face, we can do that to go through some of the issues that you guys might have on a one-on-one basis. Or if you guys would rather set it up by department or PLC, I would be happy to meet with you guys that way.